Hi there everyone, I'm Eggfur, and a couple of weeks ago I did a tutorial on a simple villager breeder for Bedrock Edition, and today I'm going to show you this thing behind me, which is an advanced villager breeder for Bedrock Edition. And it's kind of a prototype at the moment, so I'm going to do a showcase video rather than a full tutorial, but it all works. So we're going to take a look at that.
Okay, so let's dive straight in.
Now, before I show you this one, I just want to go back over to the last one, and we'll talk about why I'm doing a new one. It's because this villager breeder works perfectly fine. It's got a lot of good features. So we've got a couple of breeding villagers in here. It'll feed them carrots or potatoes automatically through the system here. I can turn it on and off as well. And babies will come out into this secure baby chamber, and we can get them out of there just like so. So why am I doing a new one? Well, this one's got a couple of problems, nothing very serious, but essentially it's a little bit limited because the carrots or potatoes you put in here will just get fed straight out to villagers. There's no real way of controlling how many they get apart from through this lever. So it's all a bit manual, and you could overfeed them or underfeed them for the number of villagers you want. And also, it relies on the babies just stay in this chamber down here, and you have to have a bed for every villager. So that's 2 for the breeding pair, and then the remaining beds can be used for the villagers you want to get extra, so the babies. And so actually you need as many beds as you have villagers, so you're pretty limited to how many you can get out of this farm, or you have to keep building more beds or take them away. So that's why we're going to have a look at an alternative design which I've come up with, which is this guy over here. And it's a very similar design in terms of main principles, except now the breeder is up there and my chamber is down here. But it's set up basically the same way. And the other thing I really wanted from this breeder was that we would have the ability to control it all from the ground. So I've got this control panel down here, which looks really majorly complicated for a villager breeder, and it probably is for most people. You might just want something really simple, but this one is, it's definitely a bit of a flex, I guess. So what do we have? I've got a system here where I can add carrots to feed my villagers. I've got a light which tells me when I'm running out of carrots up at the top. I've got the ability now, because this is a feature I really wanted, I can actually say exactly how many villagers I want by putting that number of items into this chest. So I've put 3 items in here. I'll get 3 villagers. Those items will pop back out here afterwards. I've got a light which tells me if my breeder is on or not, and that's not just assuming it's on, it's actually based on whether it's turned on up there. So that means we need a way of controlling things up at the top. So if you're wondering why we've got twisting vines here, that's what that's for. And they are a way of signaling up to the top, because I can bone meal these vines, they'll grow, and I can take that at the top and use that to control what's up there. So I also need bone meal, and I've got a bone meal chest here and an indicator light to tell me if that's getting low. So then I've also got the ability to manually feed villagers, which you shouldn't ever really need to do unless you do run out completely and want to set it off again. And I've got a lever here which allows me to turn it on to just infinite, so I don't then have to use this item-based input here. I can just say, just keep producing villagers. So that lever will do that for me. So how does it all work? Well, essentially, the breeding system at the top is the same as we saw before. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute. The babies drop down into this 1x1 hole here and get carried by the water stream over down there. But I've also got a trip wire here. So every time a baby comes, I know it's come by, and I can then there's a dropper under there. So items will flow through there to the dropper, and every time a baby comes, they pop back up into the item return chest, and when the dropper is empty, the farm will shut itself off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and murder some villagers first. So let's get rid of all of these guys. There we go. That's mass murder. Just block that off. And we'll set it going. So what I'll do is I will say I want to get 3 villagers. Doesn't matter what you put in there. It could be any item. You see the light comes on to tell me my farm is working. And actually, I immediately get a villager because there was a spare one already bred up at the top. He links to this bed. So there's a bed here underneath the Wandering Trader's llama. So he links that bed. This forms a village down here as well, where all of my villagers will fall into. Okay. So the signaling system is in 2 parts. It's using these vines, and they grow with the bone meal and signals up there. But I've also got a system with these daylight detectors, which will come on when a block is placed above them. So, for example, if I was to place a block above here, that turns on this, and it doesn't matter how high up it is, it could be right at the top there. And that's actually my carrot indicator light, say my food supply is low. So actually it's not at the moment, it's just I place a block there, then it goes off. And the carrots can be fed in. Let's do the carrots first. So I'll grab some carrots. There we go. So I can feed carrots into this chest. They'll come along here into this auto dropper, along there, and up the bubble column to the top. Now, the thing is, of course, I want those to go right up to the top and into the carrot storage at the top, but I might also want to go up this myself. So I've got a system which allows me to do that. And I want to come out at a different level to where the carrots go. And so my system will allow me to jump out at this level, like so, and then it replaces the bubble column, and the carrots can carry on going up and over the top. So here they are coming down there, down this water stream, into this chest, and down into the dispenser, which feeds the villagers. So I was talking about this signaling system here, and this signaling system, this side on the left is to send some food to villagers, and every time my bone meal is at the bottom, it will detect that growing up here. The system here is to stop it cycling round because I need it to grow. Then this piston breaks it. That feeds the villagers. But I don't want it to keep kind of flashing round and round. So there's a system here. If you're familiar with how we used to do melon and pumpkin farms on Bedrock Edition, it's a one-wide version of that. So it stops the observer from pulsing multiple times. Then what that does is it feeds into this system here, and this is my own design of a pulse multiplier. And it's a bit special because the way it works is that however many items you have in this dropper here are the number of pulses it will produce. So it's a one-to-one mapping between items in that dropper and the number of output pulses, which come out through this repeater here. And then that fires the dispenser 12 times, gives exactly 12 carrots to villagers, and that's exactly the right amount to produce one more baby. And then that baby falls down into this area here. And at the moment, the farm is shut off. So you can see this piston's extended. That baby's caught, and that means the farm's shut off because I've only got now 3 beds up here. I've got 1 for the baby villager to be made. I've got 2 for my breeding villagers. And normally, when I'm breeding, this will be retracted. The babies will fall down. They'll fall out of this village, freeing up this bed again to make more babies. So to shut it off, I just have to hold this baby up inside this top village, and then nothing else will be produced. At the same time as I'm blocking this, I'm extending this piston with this block, which is above the daylight detector down there, so I can tell whether my farm is on or off. And just to show you the bone meal thing, if I got some bone meal, let's grab some bone meal. So if I grab some bone meal and I bone meal this, what you'll see is that, let's go somewhere where we can see it. Yeah, you can see the baby just there. So I'll bone meal this. It grows up, gets broken. That turns my farm on. It sends 12 more carrots to these guys. I'm going to turn it off again. So my slab is back across here. And my extra baby has fallen down now, down to the bottom. So I ordered 3, if you remember, with 3 beef, I think. And I've got 4 because I released an extra one from the top, just as a demonstration. So there you go. Every baby you want, just put an item into here and it will produce babies for you. And then this system over here, if you didn't see my first simple villager breeder, is a secure way of getting the babies out without allowing them to be attacked. Because most designs you'll see this corner is cut out and actually baby zombies or zombies can get into that corner and attack your villagers. So this is a way of stopping that. If I press this button, a baby comes out of the minecart. So I thought it was pretty cool. You know, if you want to get 20 villagers for your iron farm, put 20 items in here, you'll get 20 villagers. If you want to get 32 villagers for your trading hall, 32 in here. If you just want 1 or 2 villagers, you know, put that number of items in here as well. And there's also, if I flick this lever, you'll see the farm comes on, and then it will just continuously breed villagers until you run out of carrots. So let's turn that off again. There we go. Okay, so I think that's probably all I'm going to show you today. Just to note, I wired the side of this up rather than using the signaling method here, just because actually it was a bit too complicated to spread bone meal out between 3 different places. So I didn't really want to do that. So I just wired this up instead. And yeah, so that is my advanced village breeder, and I think it's pretty cool. Whether people would really build this, I don't know. I don't know if it's, you know, just a bit overcomplicated, because you can build a villager breeder very simply. But if people are interested, please let me know in the comments, or drop a like on the video. And if there's enough interest, then I'll do a tutorial and probably do a little bit of tidying up as well. Because I think it could probably be made a little bit more efficient at the back in terms of space. So yeah, so let me know. Let me know what you think. And I will hopefully see you next time. Thank you.